Hello, Internet.
Lion, about the Lion.
Yes, Virginia Truckee #1 replica, right here. So here she is, the Lion. The complete replica of the original. And this is like the tender frame and the tender itself inside. It's at Iowa Trolley Park. The gift shop. Got this, the Lion.
Did you find the tender?
It's back there, right?
Right, the water tank.
Yes. So when Lion is finished, where are you going to run it?
We will run it here at the trolley park.
Will you ever bring it to the original Virginian Truckee?
We're planning on it.
Or maybe Nevada State Railroad Museum?
Yes, we're planning on doing that. We would like to go next year, but we won't have it completed enough. We may take the tender, and the tender's almost done. I just am adjusting the brakes right now.
All right.
So if you'll look, I have bolts and stuff that still have to come, but I have the cylinder all set up.
And that's the cylinder, right?
And you can see on the side there, so that it pulls the brakes in.
That's an air brake tender, right?
Yeah. It'll have air brakes that work off of the air pump that's on the side of the diesel, or I'm sorry, not diesel, the side of the steam locomotive. And we'll have a 6-inch Westinghouse air pump. And that's being assembled currently in Monrovia, California. And it was donated to us by George Thagard III.
So where's the boiler? Because I see you got the wood cladding up.
The boiler is there's a picture of the boiler under construction. It's at Truckee Construction in Elgin, Illinois.
Oh, where they built the...
Leviathan.
Yeah, Leviathan in New York, 17.
In New York. So they're also doing our boiler.
Oh yeah, because they're starting a new business with that, these
Right.
locomotives. It's a big
And then-
stack.
It is a big stack, and it's a big stack because it has such a small firebox and that the engine moved very slow, so it needed a lot of draft, so we believe they made a small stack.
So how long has the Lion
A
been
tall
under
stack.
construction?
Started in 1992, so about 21 years now.
Wow. It's been made quite a long journey.
Yes, the Strasburg Railroad did all the undercarriage you see here, and then we've done everything for the tender here at the trolley park.
And where's the cab?
We're waiting on funding for the cab. Now, we have one fellow that says he will give us the wood, but we'd really like to make it out of California laurel, but it looks like we might be making it out of ash.
It's cheaper.
It's available. Well, plus cheaper too. If the ash is free versus $8,500, you go with free, I think.
Yes, because this is all funded by donations.
Totally by donations, volunteers and donations.
So what about this one car back here? What's
That car was a New York, New Haven car made in 1892. And then in 1897, it was sold to the Mason City Clear Lake Electric Railroad and was used as a trailer car pulled behind their motor cars in the summertime to haul tourists from the Mason City depots to Clear Lake. In 1930, it was sold to a family that actually began living in it, and then they built a home around it which protected it. But the sad thing is they did cut doorways to go into adjoining rooms.
Like here?
Yep, there's a doorway right here, and a doorway right here, and a doorway.
And they cut off the ends too?
And they cut off the observation platforms as it was originally on them when they moved in, because I've seen a photograph of that. I was unable to get it, but I was able to see a photograph. And this is a Benton and Bodie tender tank that came off of one of the locomotives that the Union Iron Works made for the Benton and Bodie Railroad.
And what railroad, where was that in?
Okay, that started in California. It was in Mono County by Bridgeport, and it was at 8,500 feet elevation. And then the railroad actually went down behind Mono Lake, and there were lumber mills there, and they would haul the timbers back up to the mines. And in 1927, they abandoned that railroad, and in 1936, John Dandera and his dad and grandfather brought this tender tank into the ranch and used it as a water tank for their garden for years. In 2006, we acquired it for our museum through George Staggard III.
So it's too worn out to use, that's why you built the new one back here?
No, first of all, it's narrow gauge. Second, the sides are 39 inches and the Lyons were to be 32. And plus, it's the only known Union Iron Works railroad artifact left.
So what are you going to do with it since it's the last piece?
We'll probably display it in our museum, and then we're hoping eventually California Museum that will keep it indoors will acquire it.
Maybe sell it to the California State Railroad Museum?
Well, they would take it, not buy it. They would take it, but they didn't want to store it indoors to our knowledge.
That's a good idea because it should be back in its home state.
Should be.
Maybe cosmetically restore it?
There's too much you destroy when you cosmetically destroy it.
Like pretty much just give it a new coat of paint?
Well, if you do that, you again destroy the lettering that's on it. That's original lettering, we believe. And we really don't want to destroy what was.
Interesting. So what type of locomotive hauled this tender?
It was a 060 made by the Union Iron Works, and it was narrow gauge.
What was its name?
I believe it was the Inyo.
Oh, so there was another Inyo besides the other one.
Yes, there was an Inyo on the Benton and Bodie Railroad.
And what gauge is it? 3 foot?
3 foot gauge. There's a few idiosyncrasies if you're into construction. And one of them is that it only had one water valve. Okay. The other is the brake stand actually went through the tank, which if you're very careful and step up here, you can see. And they just used a boiler flue for that, which is interesting. Again, it's all hand riveted. We believe it's made out of wrought iron. And, the hold down legs are hand forged. Very well done. Very nice.
Yeah. So what year was this tender made in?
1881.
And the locomotive was scrapped and the line closed?
The locomotive was scrapped, as near as I can tell, about 1927.
So when so about a few years before the line closed?
Well, no. The line was abandoned. I need a correction. The line was abandoned in 1927. I don't know exactly when the locomotive was scrapped.
Possibly around the same time?
Possibly.
Maybe to pay off some debts?
There would be,
Depth?
there would be some, there'd be some record of that, but I don't know that record.